Here's the exact thumbnail for this video. 2 Morgan dollars. One is genuine. One is not. So, based on what you see right now, don't stress too hard on it, but pick one, left or right. Which one starts to feel wrong? Before I reveal which one it is, look closer. At this level, the question is not just whether the coin has detail. The question is whether that detail behaves like it belongs to the coin. A lot of people want one perfect test: weight, ping, magnet, denticles, fonts, mint mark, and all of those can matter. But a suspicious coin should not be judged from just one clue. It should be judged by an evidence stack. One clue can be misleading, but when the surface, the rim, the stars, the lettering, the reverse, and the mint mark all start pointing in the same direction, the coin starts telling on itself. Before we go deeper under the scope, I'm going to go ahead and run the physical checks that people requested in one pass: weight, diameter, thickness, and a ping sound comparison. These matter, but they're only one layer. A genuine Morgan dollar should be close to 26.73 grams, giving some allowance for wear, circulation, and handling. If a coin is dramatically off, that is an immediate warning sign. But weight alone does not finish the case. Next is the diameter. A fake can sometimes get the number close while still being wrong elsewhere. All right, so we're looking at about 37.9 millimeters. The other coin, coming in at 38 even. So the physical checks are useful, but they're not a verdict by themselves. Thickness is another layer. And then there is sound. I'm going to keep this light because I really don't like doing aggressive sound testing on collectible coins. All right, here's the coin on the left. And now the coin on the right. The fake is the 1884 on the right. But the reveal is not the lesson. The lesson is why it fails. This is the part that really connected with the first video, because moving light is harder for a fake surface to lie to. A still photo can hide a lot. A single angle can hide a lot. But when light moves, the surface has to respond. Movement exposes behavior, and behavior is much harder to hide. On a genuine coin, the light has a more natural relationship with the fields, the devices, and the remaining surface texture. It travels in a way that feels connected to the metal. On the fake, the response is flatter and less convincing. The light does not carry across the coin the same way. That is clue number one. But clue number one is not enough. Start at the edge. On a genuine Morgan dollar, the denticles should have a rhythm. They don't have to be perfect. Circulation, strike, wear, and photography can all change what we see, but they should still make sense with the rest of the coin. On the fake, the rhythm starts to feel wrong. The spacing, the shape, and the transition from rim to denticles and back to the field do not have the same natural look. And this is where the stack starts to grow. Because surface behavior raised the first concern, the denticles and rim certainly don't rescue it. In fact, they add to the problem. Now look at the stars, date, and lettering. This is where a fake coin can look close at first glance, but wrong under magnification. The stars may look soft, swollen, uneven, or slightly off in geometry. Now look at the date. It can have the wrong feel in thickness, spacing, or shape. The lettering can also tell on a coin. On a genuine coin, the letters should fit the design language of the series. Not perfect, not untouched, but consistent. On the fake, the shapes do not carry the same confidence. And again, one strange-looking letter is not the whole case. But surface behavior, denticles, rim rhythm, stars, date, and lettering are now all pointing in the same direction. At this point, we are not guessing from just one mark. We're reading a pattern. Now we move inward. A lot of people start with the portrait. I usually don't want to start there because wear, strike, lighting, and circulation can all affect the portrait. But once the outside clues have already raised concern, the portrait becomes much more useful. Look at how the raised design of the coin meets the flat area or the field. Look at whether the detail feels struck into the metal or reproduced as a shape. A genuine coin should still feel like metal that moved under pressure from a die. The fake just doesn't carry the same confidence. It feels more like an imitation of the design than a natural survivor of the minting process. But here's the part I would not skip: the reverse of the coin. A lot of counterfeit discussions focus solely on the date and the obverse, sometimes the mint mark. But the reverse often tells you whether your evidence stack is getting weaker or locking in. So now we're going to look at the eagle breast, the lettering, the rim, and the all-important CC mint mark. So on the reverse, we're basically asking the same question we did on the other side. Does the design behave like it belongs to this coin? Look at the lettering. Even with wear, genuine lettering should have a more natural relationship to the field and the surrounding devices. On the fake, the letters can look too soft, too thick, too rounded, or inconsistent. Now look at the eagle in the wreath. The details do not need to be perfect. This isn't about expecting a perfect mint state coin. It's about whether the reverse makes sense with the rest of the surface. And then, of course, there is the CC or Carson City mint mark. On a Carson City Morgan, the mint mark draws attention immediately. That means it's one of the places a fake has to survive inspection. If the shape, spacing, placement, texture, or relationship to the surrounding metals feels wrong, well, that's another warning. Now, I would not condemn a coin from one mint mark glance alone. But in this case, the reverse is not rescuing the coin. It's confirming the problem. So this is why I would not trust this coin. Not because one detail looked strange, but because the evidence stacked up. The physical checks matter. The moving light raised concern. The denticles and rim added to that concern. The star's date and lettering did not carry the same design language. The portrait and field transitions did not feel right. And the reverse, including the CC mint mark area, confirmed the direction of the evidence. That's the real lesson. A fake Morgan dollar does not always announce itself from across the room. Sometimes it survives the first glance. Then it fails one layer at a time. If you made your call before the reveal, drop it in the comments. Did you catch the surface behavior? The denticles? Stars? Date? The lettering? The reverse? Or maybe the mint mark first? Now the next video moves from fake metal to real metal with a different problem. Because shiny is not the same thing as original.